If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
It is 7 a.m. on a Thursday morning, the 12th day of August 2021. Glad to have with us this morning Mick Barnett. Mick is a friend from a long time ago, and he's a writer, and he's written several children's books. And Mick, good morning to you, sir.
Good to see you again, Jimmy.
Good to have you with us this morning. You're a military veteran.
Yep, 24 years in the Air Force.
Yeah, you ought to have it right by now, right?
Well, if I don't have it now, I'm in bad shape.
And long-time minister, too.
Yep, over 20 years.
Yeah. Talk about how you got started in writing.
Well, for years, I have two sons, and for years I would tell my sons stories just off the cuff, and they seemed to enjoy them. And my wife kept saying, "You need to put this down. You need to write this down for your grandkids." And so finally, about 5 years ago, I started writing, and it just spawned from there.
Mm-hmm. Now, here are the two books here, and which one did you write first?
Earl the Squirrel.
Okay.
Earl the Squirrel here. He's very special to my grandkids. Very special to my grandkids, I guess because they can kind of see Earl in them. He's kind of mischievous, and he gets in all kind of trouble. And yeah, the story basically about three little squirrels, and their mom and dad tell them to stay in the tree, but they want to go swimming because they saw the humans swim. And so they decide to go when their mom and dad's not around. You know, we've done that before, behind our parents' back. And then they go in there and start swimming, and then some mean dogs come up, and they're in a lot of trouble. And their mom and dad and a lot of the other squirrels come to their rescue and save them. And at the end of the book, I always have, at the end of the book, every one that I do, Earl, and also with Hoppy with the other book, I have moral of the story. What does this book mean to it? And basically what it's saying is, don't listen to your peers, because Earl got the other two in trouble. And also, you need to listen to your parents, because even though they might not seem right, they know exactly what's right. And if you do that, then you're going to stay out of a lot of trouble.
Mick, how important is it in your view that children read at an early age?
I think it's very important. I have 9 grandkids, and we emphasize that very early. I have a 9-year-old right now. He's been reading he reads better than I do, and it's very important. Everything dealing with education starts with reading. It doesn't matter whether it's math, whatever it might be. You got to be able to read, and to love to read is very important also.
From start to finish, how long did it take to get Earl the Squirrel in production?
Well, it started, I guess, about 6 months, I guess. I have a fantastic illustrator, Ramona Munkus. I went to school with her at Lincoln.
Explain what her position is, what she does.
Well, she's the one that makes the book look good, other than just words. She does all the drawings, and we go over and over what should be, move this over here, move that over there. You know how it is about editing, you being in TV. And she makes it come alive. And without her, this book would just be words, and the kids would be bored with it. But with kids, they're so visual. If they can see the character, and it brings, they can actually visualize what the character is, then it helps out a lot. So I guess about 6 months, I get close, or I think I'm close. Then I let my wife, the editor, look at it, and she chews it up, tears it up, and we start all over again, basically. And but then by that time, we got a finished product. Then we have a final day where we put all of it together, and that's how we do it.
Mick Barnett, our guest this morning, he's written several children's books, including this first one, Earl the Squirrel. The second one is Hoppy Saves the Day. Explain this one.
All right, now Hoppy just came out about 2 weeks ago. Just to let you know that when I told everybody that I was coming out with a new book, all the parents says, "All right, we want to see Earl again." I said, "I'm sorry, it's Hoppy." And but they got it now and they love it. Hoppy Saves the Day. It's about a little rabbit who is very excited because today is his first day of school. And him and his friend Fluffy goes to school, And Fluffy has already been there a year, so she's in the second grade.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So much
Veteran,
older.
right?
Oh, just so much older. And so she says, you're going to enjoy it. She told us what teacher you have, and it's going to be a great time. And so he goes in, and the first two animals, a raccoon and a fox, he tries to talk to them, and they won't have anything to do with him because he's different. Because he hops, he doesn't run. And he didn't understand that because he never felt that before, being different, being wrong. And so at recess, they go out and they start choosing up teams for baseball. The fox chooses on one side and the raccoon on the other. And they get through choosing. They say, okay, let's play ball. And Fluffy and Hoppy says, wait a minute, you didn't choose me. And they said, well, you can't play because you're different. You can't run. And so he gets sad, and he goes and he sits on up underneath a tree, and he doesn't think that school's going to be that good after all. And then at the end of the day, him and Fluffy starts walking back, and Fluffy could tell that's his little friend there. See her bow? She got a bow in her hair. Yeah. She's saying, Hoppy, what's wrong? And he says, and he explains what happened. And she said, those kids are always that way. If you're not exactly like them, then they're going to be mean to you. And so they go into the woods and they start to go home, and Fluffy says bye to Hoppy, and all of a sudden Hoppy hears something. Like it's something down deep in the woods that's hollering for help. And so he starts going down through there, and he's trying to find his way, and he runs into this owl. His name is Mr. Munkus. Ramona Munkus is his last name. I kind of did that. And he guides him the way to where the voices are. And he goes down there, and lo and behold, he finds the raccoon and the fox who had jumped over a log and fell into a hole and couldn't get out. And they were the ones asking for help. So he comes down there, and the moral of the story is he jumps in, and because he is different, where he can hop and can't run, he hops out of the hole with both of them and saves their lives. And that's when the raccoon and the fox realizes that being different is okay. Because if Hoppy had not been different, they'd still be in the hole.
You know, you're illustrating through Hoppy Saves the Day, and our schools just starting back in Alabama, most of them this week, and Sylacauga City schools starting back today, and county schools started this week too. It kind of illustrates what we can face as younger children when we may be a little different.
That's right. And the end of the book, I explain to the kids that everybody's different in some way. You got short ones, you got tall ones, you got kids that have red hair and some that has black hair, you know. Everybody is different in some way, but if you put all these people together, then it creates a great world. I remember when I was an HR manager, the team that I always built with people that are different. If I had everybody a yes man, then I wouldn't learn anything. Yeah. But I had to have one that was strong, one that's weak, one that's strong in technical stuff and different things like that. And by doing that, I created a great team. And I think it's very important with today, with so many diversities, that I write this.
Yeah. Now, Hoppy Saves the Day, along with Earl the Squirrel, they're available for purchase, right?
Yes, they are. All you have to do is go on Amazon.com and type in my name, Mick, M-I-C-K, Barnett, and both these books will pop up for $9.99 each, and you pay shipping and handling, and you get them within just a few days, and they're fantastic for parents to just sit down at night. You know how wild it is with having kids and working and stuff, especially start a school system. But if you have something that you can sit down with them and read to them, and maybe you find out that your kid is struggling in school. You know,
I have found as a grandparent with grandchildren, a real powerful way to connect is reading.
That's right. And some of the strongest expressions I've gotten from anyone is from grandparents. And they say, hey, I didn't know I didn't know how to connect with my grandkids, but now I have something that I can do it. And I don't have to make up those stories. You've done it for me.
Yeah, I have a grandchild that I got several grandchildren, but the youngest is, I think it's 4 now. And when he comes to our house, he'll always say, "Granddad, can you read to me?"
Oh, that's
So
great.
he wants to, and whether it's a he or a she, they want to be connected, and you can connect that through reading. And these are fantastic books. So what's next for you?
Well, I got another book that'll be coming out in January. I wrote it within 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I go outside and sit and watch. I feed my birds and stuff. I guess like most old people do, and pray and have a good time, a quiet time to start the day. And I have a rock up underneath a tree, and I was sitting there and I was drinking my coffee, and I looked, and I saw an apple. I got apple trees everywhere, and I saw an apple sitting on that rock, and I go, "Did one of my grandkids put that up there?" But then I realized, no, I don't think so. And then at a corner of my eye, I call him Earl, come down out of the tree, went down there to the rock.
You actually saw Earl, right?
That's right. I see him. Oh, you should see my grandkids. When they see him, they say, "That's Earl, that's Earl, that's Earl." But excuse me, he goes over there and he gets the apple off the rock and takes it back up the tree. And I go, "That's my next story." And this story is about how Earl saves the apples from the old crows. That, you know how crows do. They bite an apple a couple times and they fall on the ground and rot. Yeah, he saves the day. Hoppy saves the day.
Wow.
Earl will save this day.
$9.95 for these 2 books each.
That's right.
And just Amazon, right?
Amazon.com. Type in my name, Mick, M-I-C-K, Barnett, B-A-R-N-E-T-T. And I appreciate your support. And I thank you for having me on.
Oh, yeah, you're more than welcome. And when you were growing up and even into your adult life, did you think about maybe at some point writing?
I did not. I did not. But I've learned. I learned something though. I guess it was before the end of school year last year. I Zoomed, and I will Zoom if there's any teachers out there or principals out there that would like for me to Zoom call these books. I'll read them to any classes. I've done 2 or 3 classes in Georgia, and I will gladly do it here also. But one of the questions that the teacher, one of the principals asked, said, "Have any of you ever thought about writing a book?" And this was kids in 1st and 2nd grade, and you would not believe how many hands had came up, how many kids had thought about doing that, writing. And just to let you know that this book is so diverse that it is for preschool all the way up to 4th or 5th grade.
Wow.
So,
what's the story? Hoppy Saves the Day. What is it telling us? You always put something at the end of the book.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Yeah, with Hoppy Saves the Day, it says, don't listen. No, I'm sorry, that was Earl the Squirrel. Bullying is bad. Also, treat everyone with kindness. Anytime that I write a book, that's going to be pushed deep into the soul of the writing, because one of the greatest things we can do, it says even in the Bible, that is treat everybody with kindness. You can read the Bible, you can preach the Bible all you want to, but if you don't show kindness, they don't see it. And also, it tells them that everybody is different, and being different is good. There's nothing wrong with being different. If you're not as tall as that guy, or if you don't have the same color of skin, that's okay. That's all right. God made you that way. Feel comfortable in your skin and what you do.
Mick Barnett is our guest this morning, military veteran and writer of children's stories. And he's got his first 2 books, Earl the Squirrel and Hoppy Saves the Day. And it's kind of ironic, you got a squirrel story and a rabbit story in the first 2 books you've written. And we appreciate you coming this morning. How can they get in touch with you?
256-375-9241. That's my phone number. And I've got an old email address. I got a numerous email address, but the one I really like to look at and I monitor is barnett23@aol.com. If you got any questions about it or keep up with anything, just let me know. I also bought some books that I sell on my own also.
Okay.
So
now, if there are people watching this morning across the state of Alabama and they would like for you to come to their church or like to come to their school, and I know things are a little bit different nowadays, but other than Zoom, you can do that too.
I sure can. All you have to do is call me at 256-375-9241. We can fit this into a lesson for kindergarten or for church, anything like that. Sure can, no problem.
Mick, always a pleasure, sir. Thanks
Always
for joining us.
good seeing you.
We got more Daybreak just ahead. Don't go away.